and his God. And I, Dathan, will lead him back to Pharaoh in the brick pits.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Buzz Burbank, Rob Speedwagon, Oscar Santana. And now, from his settee, here's Mike.
You're keeping that alive, aren't you?
I still love it.
You keep that 10 Commandments alive.
I watch it. You know what's great is when ABC puts it on, it's like 8 hours long. So you can watch 20 minutes, go have a meal, go walk the dog, clean the house. It's still on.
We are live from Studio 1K in the Pfeifferplex Broadcast Center. This is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are downloaded worldwide 17.5 million times and powered by Encore Insurance. We're at MikeO'MaraShow.com, 102.9 FM WTNT. Gave a little tribute to that radio station just a moment ago.
It was like the weekend continued in on to Monday.
WTNT is right here in Washington, D.C., and we're also on the mighty AM 1630 KCJJ in Iowa. Happy day after Easter, everybody. It is April Fool's Day. That was our equivalent of an April Fool's joke, so I hope you appreciated that.
You got my son this morning.
I did. He's here. Why does he have the day after? I thought the
Easter
breaks
Monday.
are over. They're all back at school.
Easter Monday.
Easter Monday
They got 5 days and an extra day.
I never had that privilege.
I think also it happens that they might build that in as a snow day fallback. Not a lot of snow days this year, so they get the extra day.
It used to be a holiday for school kids.
Yeah. Set the recorders for honest commercial read here.
Okay.
I'm here to tell you that yesterday I got real excited to see my daughters who were working in a restaurant at the restaurant we went to. I felt guilty. The only day of the week they're not working or doing midterms or schoolwork is Thursday night, and I want to take them to a hockey game. That microphone is definitely off mic, Rob, so give me a little more gain on that.
Yeah, we're working. We had to make some adjustments during the April Fool's joke.
We played with it a little bit, and so I wanted to take my lovelies out to the hockey game on Thursday. This is a legitimate endorsement right here. I went online and I went to several other sites just to see, just to test, and I said to myself, this is where you never doubt Score Big, ladies and gentlemen. You never doubt it, because I went to this website, and I said, wow, that's a really low price. When I got ready to check out with these low ticket prices, because I was foolish and decided that I would go somewhere else besides Score Big. What happened to me, you can keep playing with that because it ain't right. It is so far away. Just try to recreate what it used to be.
Trying to now.
Back in the day.
Even as we speak.
When I got done and I said, wow, that's a great ticket price. And then I got to check out. And when they talk about no fees on scorebig.com, this is why this is a big deal.
That was the difference.
For 4 tickets, over $100 out of thin air, which is really not the ticket price. I mean, these sites that do this are in the business of ripping people off. It's not good enough that they have inflated prices for their tickets. What they like to do at the very end is say, oh, each ticket,
by the way,
four people, my daughters, myself, and my dear friend Mr. Cerrito, 4 tickets, $25 each for a service charge,
fees,
which is just larceny. I mean, and they manufacture it.
How would they do such a thing?
They're not. That's funny. You said it so insincere.
What kind of country is this? Anyway.
They literally they're in the business of just manufacturing these fees to do that. At Score Big, if you go to scorebig.com, you will not get those fees, and that is enormous when you're talking about getting a decent price for tickets. And
so it would be safe to say.
I came in here. I've used Score Big. I used it when we went to the hockey game. But at the end of the day, I came back. I literally said this to my wife yesterday. I said, this is the best site that exists as far as buying tickets online. You will not get the fee. You will not get ripped off, and you will get the lowest price available. And take advantage of it. So
Score
please
Big is the answer.
Go to Score Big, up to 60% below the box office price. Here's another fact for you. Baseball teams in many parts of the country, including my beloved Boston Red Sox, are having very difficult Aprils. They're not selling their inventory. So you're going to have great opportunities if you want to go out and take advantage of baseball at the beginning of the season, opening day for the Red Sox and lots of other teams today.
Hey, go Nationals.
Check out. It's the Nats Open. I should mention that since we're in the city of Washington, D.C.
God, I can't wait. It's been too long since we've seen those racing presidents.
You know, you really take advantage of. I'm trying to sell tickets.
I know.
You know, scorebig.com, up to 60% off. You just start right. It's Monday. Get started. No problem at all. And you get $30 off your first order. Enter the code TMOS. That's great seats below.
They do it better.
Below box office prices and an extra $30 off. What did I do to my microphone? I sound like I'm over
You
here,
went
Rob.
foreign is
Really?
what happened.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, you went foreign.
There, does that sound okay?
That sounds okay to me.
Are we okay?
You sound
think
much
so.
better than you
Sounds
did when you
good.
started.
Yeah.
Constant tweaking. And, speaking of you, my father sends you some helpful advice.
Really?
What's that?
He watches us on the Ustream every day,
Yes.
and it's driving him nuts when you fool with your glasses on and off.
Yeah.
You know what you need? They're called computer glasses.
What are those?
What?
And they actually have the medicine graduated from the top to the bottom.
I have that.
I have, yeah.
So, and you still need to do this?
I should go like this.
Yeah, as I said to my father, I said, so all he has to do is move his head, he says, or his eyes.
Right.
You don't actually have to move your entire head, it turns out.
Do you know what bothers me about your father?
What?
His incredible horniness.
Well,
See, that doesn't bother me.
well, trust me.
Age inappropriate horniness.
I think maybe
no, I
if,
disagree.
I mean, he's a grandfather, for God's sake. And,
If you,
and your kid's in the other room.
Still getting it done.
if you've got the better glasses, maybe
Right.
he'd be horny to you.
Oh, God, I don't want that.
Yeah, just- I mean,
Although he isn't, he's so much more attractive than you ever were.
and you, and
Or
everyone
will
else
be.
in this room,
That's
really.
true.
Yeah,
On the
good-looking
program
guy.
today, how was your Easter? I'd like to say something hawkish, and I will say it during the show. I normally don't go here. I normally don't. These words have
Right.
never come out of my mouth on the air. I don't think it's ever happened, but I'll say it today. Did anybody see the injury? Let's start with that today.
I did.
I will tell you this, that watching the morning news shows, I said I don't want to see it, and I adhered to that. And
Kevin
That was
Ware's
the
injury.
stand I took.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
mean, I didn't want to see it.
I
I
saw
saw
it on-
Theismann's when it happened, when the Giants were playing the Redskins,
Worse
and
than that.
I had no
it was.
really
I
Yuck
saw
that.
what I saw, Mike. Was
like sickening, right?
It was the worst sports injury I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
And I have, and really, when something usually happens, I go and check out the video, but this, you're watching it live.
Right.
And when it happens, you see something happen, but you don't really know right away. And look, CBS, they did a great job of making sure that they didn't show it too
It
many
did not
times.
linger. Even the main shot was actually from quite a distance.
Yeah.
How many
from
did
a
they give us?
distance.
2 replays on CBS? Is that what happened? 2 replays?
I know enough that I had to rewind it to see it. So it wasn't something that I just got to see in the replay.
When I see
rewound it.
coaches from the other team crying, I mean, when
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
that type of reaction,
It was devastating. Devastating.
What part of his leg did he break?
It was his right leg, if I'm not mistaken, but
He broke the
basically
shin bone.
It was so gruesome
between the shin
that
and
the
the ankle.
bone came through the soft tissue.
Yeah, what I learned yesterday is that
That creeps me out even to hear it. I'm
Yeah.
so glad I
Yeah.
didn't see that, and I'm so glad that the network's finally a little responsibility. They're not showing it again and again.
I
But
did
you can
not,
get it on YouTube.
Of course, did not see it live because I don't look at sports. But I went to the YouTube, and what I saw was
Sports games.
Yeah, I don't care for sports games, Mike. And if you look at a low resolution capture, it was one of the things where someone filmed their television
Yeah.
from their phone. And even at that distance, at that sort of way, it was still so gruesome to see. And it was called, I found this out, I've heard the phrase before, compound fracture.
Yeah, when the bone absolutely
Is exposed.
It exposed.
It means it actually, the skin breaks and air touches the bone, so it allows it to.
I don't want to see it, buddy.
Yeah.
Josh, thank you, but I'm going to pass on that.
I was going to do it in the audio vault. Do you want to hear a little bit of the audio of when it happened?
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't have to see it, I'm fine with
Josh
that.
has the video on continuous loop on his phone.
Did you see it, Josh? You've watched it. Have you watched it a few times or what?
I saw it once. It is disgusting. His toes are pointed to his knee at one point, like when the injury happened, then it whipped back down. And oh god,
It's the kind of thing you
was
don't want to
bad.
have to look at.
Yes.
It's very gross.
Yes, it was the
Let's
worst
hear the
sports
play-by-play.
injury
Here's
ever.
when it happens, and of course, Mike, no one would be there to emphasize the drama better than our friend Jim Nance, who was actually doing play-by-play.
Was it
with
Nancy?
Now 5 out of 6.
Kevin Ware just took a shot. Oh, my goodness. That is a gruesome-looking injury to Kevin Ware.
Stop right there.
Look at it.
So after the initial break, is that what we were looking at? We were looking at the bone sticking out. Is that?
I don't think there was a close-up of it, but you saw it happen.
So basically, the shot that you could TiVo or DVR back to was from the camera was of the actual court, and in the distance when he came down, he's basically trying to block a 3-pointer.
Right.
And when he came down, you see it's just like the weirdest injury ever, but you see it right away where he lands, and then the front of his right kneecap just pops out.
All I can imagine is have you ever had a glass in your hand that you just ding slightly and it shatters? It's like there's some sort of fault
so it
in
was
play.
a fluky.
Yeah, he just came down from a jump.
And you don't know why that happens, whether the guy is predisposed,
angle.
whether there's a brittle bone,
Right.
or whether it is the perfect storm as
Could
far
be.
as the weight coming down.
Angle and all of that.
He was jumping, right?
Yeah, he
and
was
then
blocking
and he
a shot,
landed.
right?
He
Yeah.
landed, and that's when the leg snapped.
Okay, here's more from the game.
Teammates' reaction
Oh, my.
to it.
He's dislocated some portion of his leg there, Jim.
Really?
They're shaken up because of how gruesome it looks.
They are just visibly, as a team, completely shaken.
Oh, wow. You saw it on the backside there, folks. His leg came under him as he landed, and if you can bear to watch it, take a look. But it's a terrible-looking injury.
And then Nance went on to, really the thing...
So did they show it once or twice?
I think they showed it once more after it happened.
Okay.
Right. And the thing that was almost as horrifying and unsettling as the injury was the way it affected all the players and the coaches.
Yeah, that's when you knew it was bad.
Yeah, here's Nance talking about the Louisville bench.
Look at the bench.
Looks of horror. Shock.
Of course. Look at the love on this team for their fallen teammate. And watch as they all reacted and fell to the floor. This team is in tears.
And even Duke's squad that they were playing, their team couldn't even look. They were like devastated by it.
Probably, Theismann. I didn't think he could ever get any worse than Joe Theismann. This is the worst sports injury ever.
One, because you can see everything. You can see everything on a basketball player because they're wearing shorts and a tank top, basically.
Right.
And when Theismann's incident happened, he's wearing pads. Well, he's wearing pads. He's wearing the uniform that covers everything. So you just saw the back and forth with Theismann's leg.
Yeah. And they're talking about the fact that this guy may never play again.
They put a rod where his tibia was today.
Unbelievable.
Louisville coach Rick Pitino talking about the injury, Mike.
Basically, the bone popped out of the skin. It broke in 2 spots. It'll take a year for him to come back. He'll come back better than ever. It's the same injury that Michael Bush had in football. Look at the way he's come back.
But Theismann's up walking around. I mean, did he play after that? Or
No.
He never played.
Never played.
He never
again.
played.
But he gets around okay.
I've played golf with him since that injury, and Joe Theismann. I asked him about it actually, and he said I get around, but it's never been the same.
Of course,
that kind of injury is that significant.
At least he's up, and I hope this guy is too.
It's amazingly difficult.
Theismann's leg has healed nicely, although I've seen on television commercial his prostate is giving him fits.
You're doing the TV commercial.
So you got to give him credit. A young man like this, all he was telling his friends and his teammates was to just win. Just win the game.
Yeah. And they came back and won handily.
I would imagine when it's that gruesome, the body does take care of itself, so it numbs up very quickly.
Yeah,
I mean,
shock.
Was he in any apparent pain when you watched this?
Was
he like still in pain when it was? Oh my god!
But when his teammates were huddled around him and they were putting him on the stretcher, he was just telling him just win.
And another thing is that his parents were not there. His girlfriend was. But can you imagine? You got to know his parents are watching that. Can you imagine having to see that to your kid on television?
And the Final Four, like basketball or not like basketball, I mean, that is kind of sports at its purest. And you see these kids that are so, I watched actually highlights of the NCAAs, and then I watched some NBA coverage, and it's so night and day.
Different.
I mean, it is so completely different from the college ranks when you see their kids, their obvious kids, and to have them go through this. So our hearts go out to that guy. I mean, that's just astonishing.
Love to see him come back. That was such a great story.
Is he? Anybody know what year he's in? Is he a sophomore, junior? Do we know what that is?
I'll find out right now for you.
Well, good luck to him.
To be okay.
Another thing I wanted to talk about in the news, major news story today, and I'm here to make my hawkish prediction, prognostication.
Yes.
I think we ought to bomb the crap out of North Korea.
Really?
I'm done.
It's ugly. It's very ugly over there.
I'm done with their... and if they're allowed... there's a part of me that says, if they are allowed to get away with this, with ramping up the brinksmanship to this degree, then you're in a situation, what are we going to do when they finally really are telling the truth? When they're going to, and I'm not talking about threats to the mainland of the United States, I'm talking about the poor people of Seoul, South Korea that have these missiles pointed at them, and I'm tired of that little jerk who's sitting there with his generals playing army, and I'm not talking about like nuke the country, but I'm saying, don't you think that we should have some sort of
a plan in place,
response to take out, we've taken out military hardware before where people haven't been killed outside of a couple of people that are at the missile sites, but at a certain point, when is it too much? When the missiles are in the air and South Korea has seconds to react to that, is that when we say, okay, we'll retaliate now? It's really scaring me that you've got a little idiot dictator like this guy that can make these kind of threats, and we go, oh, part of the media, especially in this country, goes, it's just North Korea. I heard a guy on Friday morning that said, it's just there's 0% chance of anything.
No,
really
that's a lie. There's always a chance of something.
The boy who cried wolf. They've been threatening for a long time. I think the difference is the threats are much different. The leader is different. This is a guy who knows
He's worse
nothing.
than his father.
Exactly, because he knows nothing. His father at least had some understanding of the world and played a game with us. This kid doesn't even understand the world that he's gaming with.
Right.
A couple thoughts, and this is just completely what I've taken away from this past week's Sunday morning shows. One, let me address your question earlier that where's a sophomore?
Yeah,
so he's got some time.
He's a sophomore.
Yes, so he has some time on.
Godspeed. I hope he has a great recovery, and I hope
to
the doctors are treating him the right way.
And then two, some people are saying that what this guy's doing, this dictator is doing, this just maniac, is actually the audience that he's talking to is his own people, and he's not talking to the United States. Now he's playing a big game of chicken. With
certainly got everybody's attention.
Yeah,
but he's talking to his people, and I guess there is. While we would like to believe everything within a dictatorship is said and done and that's it, there always are power struggles within any type of dynamic.
Oh, sure.
And the power struggle between himself and the military it's obviously taken its toll.
This is a show for the North Korean people that he's putting on, and it's a dangerous game.
So how about we put a show on and lob a few strategic strikes in there against his military infrastructure?
Right.
If this guy is this much of a loose cannon, I don't care if he's play acting for us or play acting for his people.
Right.
My point is, my God, we went into Iraq when there was nothing going on, but in the past we've had missile strikes on Libya. When they brought down the 747, we had strategic strikes. We've done that to Syria, haven't we? Mm-hmm. And we've had strategic military target airstrikes. And I'm saying, are we going to wait until it's too late?
We're still trying to figure out if it's a show for the North Korean people.
But we're also afraid.
Of course, because
we're also the big kid on the block that's afraid of this son of a bitch.
And we are, in turn, putting on a show for him. That's why we're sending the stealth bombers over and over again to remind him this is a dangerous game that you're playing, son. Right. And hopefully that will be enough. Hopefully he's got some kind of award or something coming up here in the next week or so.
It's the people's choice.
It's the goal.
And really, he's campaigning for that, like he's campaigning for an Oscar. He's campaigning for this medal or this award or this honor. When we get past that,
pilot season.
What I'm hearing is that the rhetoric will tone down once he gets his little award.
By the way, though, when he does that, it's the worst red carpet you've ever seen. Ryan Seacrest isn't even over there.
Oh,
let's go to the red carpet right now. Oh, there he is. He's getting out of his limo.
박명성 3호 2호기 위성 발사
Opening of the show.
How can a country, really, in the global world, and I'm sorry you're heading over there, Oscar, with the tensions being what they are, how can, in a global world now, the way we live, how can you have a North Korea still? That has sophisticated military technology, and they still get away with behaving the way they're so complete. They succeed in it.
Yeah,
they shut down all of the communications. All you need, I think, is to get a few decent satellites in there, satellite TVs. Send direct TV over there.
And by the way,
they put it in my house like within a week.
You can have 3 free months of HBO. Brilliant. And with all that, Mike, are you still concerned about how it's going to affect the South?
Well, down here.
And where is that?
In South Korea.
Oh, the Deep South.
Down in I had a plantation just outside of Seoul. Seoul, South Korea.
Soul food.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you, I was talking to my houseboy.
Yes. Oh, dear.
And his name was Kim.
Now, if
and
I'm not
Kim
mistaken,
would go down and get me to go down to the South 40 and get me my mint juleps.
Didn't Kim's father work for your father?
Kim's daddy worked for my daddy, and Kim's daddy's daddy worked for my daddy's daddy.
I remember.
First or last name?
He don't have none.
I see.
Oh, just the name.
He just known here in the South.
I see.
Down in South Korea. Yes. Well, listen. There's nobody in South Korea that's going to get real concerned about the war of northern aggression on the part of the North. Those blue coats, they can stay up where they is,
Yes.
and they can do that. But I'd like to invite you all down south.
Pardon me, Colonel?
Come down to south. We're just outside of Seoul, South Korea.
Hey, Colonel?
That's what I like about the south.
Are you concerned? Do you think maybe the United States will come to your rescue? If there's trouble
Oh,
at the
the
North?
United States, United Schmates. That's just a big... You know what that is, son?
What is that?
That's a big bowl of kimchi, as far as I'm concerned.
my.
That's right. That's a big bowl of fermented cabbage.
That's the worst.
And I don't care to deal with any of that crap, but let me just say, those people in the North,
Yes.
that northern aggression will not hold.
He will
I
not
understand,
stand.
yeah.
That will not hold.
Also, are you more of a gentlemanly people than the people up in North
Oh,
Korea?
most definitely.
Tradition.
We have our South Korean traditions that we have maintained for many years.
Of course.
Many years.
Yeah, this is good.
And I believe that we won't let any of those Yankees come down from the north and try to change our way of life.
Well, best wishes.
Absolutely.
The cooking is sure better.
That's right. I have to break for spots right now.
You do?
And I'm also out the door. I have to.
Really?
I have to go to
where you
an
headed?
LPGA event. We'll be right back.
This is your song, Mike.
That's a dirty video.
Yeah, but a great song.
What is the title?
This Blurred Lines.
It is Blurred Lines.
By Robin Thicke. And
wanna
his
thank-
father is Alan Thicke.
Demetrios
Meritos.
Philomeretusibus.
Yes.
That's right.
Is that his real name?
No.
Yes.
His real name is Kim.
And he's
First
going.
or last.
He's going to an LPGA event. This segment of the program is brought to you by Vistaprint.com. Make people feel good. In the words of Alan Goodman.
See, I knew that would make you laugh. I knew that would make you laugh. Yes, I did.
Buzz knows me well enough to know that if he writes the copy, he knows I'm not going to pre-read it, and I'm going to read it when we're on the... Make people feel good. You picked the right day for that. When you meet somebody who needs what you do, you hand them a business card and they smile. It's a personal connection. I think I've read it before. And it's your advantage over the competition. We're talking about 250 business cards for just $10. Top quality cards, $10. Free shipping, satisfaction guaranteed. Go to Vistaprint.com and get this half-price offer and enter the code TMOS in the search bar. That gets you your free shipping. Then start making people happy. Give them the impressive new business card from Vistaprint, and we'll share some of those with you this week.
Keep sending them.
We love getting your business cards.
Keep sending them.
Thank you in advance for that. We're all set to go. And another man that is set to go is a guy that's going to China.
Yeah.
And you are 3 days away.
3 days.
From Wheels Up, flying over the Korean peninsula to China.
It's
Are
the
you
time
at all?
of year. They'll be there for the cherry blossoms.
Do you think about it at all? Do you worry about it at all?
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of Encore Insurance.
Yes.
And SmartTerm.com.
Y'all
Check it
paid
out.
up, right?
Yeah,
Y'all paid up with your insurance.
I'm all paid up. And as I said goodbye to my family this weekend on Easter, I said, "Hey, if anything happens, there's a box
You're covered.
in my home." And there's a folder that has Encore on the outside of it.
Do you know what kind of
Figure it out.
Are you a phobic flyer at all? You fly all the time.
I don't care about flying.
Do you pay attention to flying? Because usually people that aren't phobic don't pay attention to like the equipment they're using as far as what you're flying in there. So you don't know if you're going to be in a 747
I know for sure
or a
because-
777.
He's in a 777.
777.
Are you going to be in a 777?
Yeah, I
You checked the equipment because you wanted to know about roominess and electrical outlets.
If they had outlets.
Okay, so you're going to be in a 777.
And there's obviously, you can't go directly there. I mean, there has to be a
we're
stop.
going direct, baby.
You mean you leave here?
Yes.
I guess you're leaving Dulles.
Dulles.
You leave Dulles and you land
In Beijing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, because what I first saw was some sort of connection, and the second
Hope somebody doesn't light a spark on the tarmac.
the second leg of the flight,
That's a lot of fuel.
Yeah, it is.
I envisioned
I'm sorry.
a plane.
That's terrible. If you were doing this to me,
you'd be out of your mind.
If you did that to me and I was taking that, I would be legitimately pissed at
Mental
you. Right
note.
now.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I definitely foresaw a second leg of the flight and something from a Indiana Jones plane.
Oh, I dropped my lighter. Sorry.
Keep the Kaye.
That's terrible.
But on the bright side, Todd's wings were extra crispy.
Mid-air refueling, perhaps?
I don't know what they do. I think
Incidentally, this is Oscar's world because it's not just the flight; it's everything I want to talk. I want to talk about his mom and Easter and Todd's photo over the weekend. You spent some time with your
I didn't realize
good friend Todd.
Didn't realize we were doing an actual episode.
Yeah,
Oscar's
Oscar's World. Right.
Boo.
Oscar's World.
Gotta burn that.
Would you like to say thank you to our
Oscars
intern,
World.
Josh, for doing that wonderful parody spot of
I
you?
did say thank you. In private.
You did
I
a
gave my
very
heads
great,
up.
that's very talented, young man.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
You got a lot of praise, not just from the room, but online.
You know,
I saw that. I was
Very
like,
cool.
when an intern comes of age and he produces prepared comedy that actually not only is delivered on the show but also goes over very well.
Exactly.
I think it's time to impart some advice that was given to me when I was a baby DJ at the same time.
Yes.
And you should remember this, and I think it's the most important thing to remember in the business.
With love.
And I know you're looking at me seriously, and I am being serious here. Don't get happy.
That's good advice.
And if I
My
can
advice to you.
add to that, the more time you spend with Mike O'Mara, the less chance of getting happy you have.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's it is a mantra that has stood by me forever.
It keeps us humble.
Yeah.
I can have the greatest day in the world, and I will. Several things are going well. The stars align. Everything's okay. My wife is happy. I'm delighted. We got a new advertiser. Life is good.
Right.
But I will check myself at that very moment when I think it can't get any better. I will check myself and say, "Ooh, you're getting happy."
Yeah, don't
Because
do
as
it.
soon as you do get happy, you're in trouble.
That's right. You know, that speaks to our topic that we had on the bonus show last week.
Yes, the pessimism.
Yeah, so don't get happy,
Right,
Josh.
right. That was an okay
Sorry.
show.
Yeah, well, you know, I
No,
thought
that
it would
was
be.
great.
I thought it would be a lot
Not
better
at all.
than it was.
I don't think it went over that well.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead, Oscar.
So this past weekend was my birthday weekend, and thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
I had an
birthday.
amazing time with my family. I had a great time. My friend Todd, you know him very well. He'll be here
Right.
tomorrow.
Right.
Was kind enough to take me out with one of his friends.
Your brother Raul came into town.
We celebrated. My brother Jose came
Jose.
to town.
No, I
Jose.
think it's Hector.
My
Hector.
niece and nephew came into town. My brother-in-law and sister. So everybody was at home
Right.
except for my father because he's in South America.
Right.
I am now
Shacker.
racking my brain for original and quirky
Unexpected?
Hispanic names.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Which one's Jesus?
So,
Look who's here. It's Pablo Santana.
You got Hector. You took Hector, and
Yeah.
Hector is one
Hector's
of my
a pretty
old
good one.
friends.
It's a
Right.
good one.
so
Learn from you.
On Friday night, we had a big dinner where it was.
Did Octavio come in, or
Jose came in.
Jose came
Yeah.
in?
Pedro.
Was he the only family member?
No. Tatiana was there, my sister.
Tatiana.
Yes.
Luis.
So I get confused. Is Hector?
There's
your-
no Hector in my family.
Okay, so
Oh, I know who you're thinking of, Mike. You're thinking of the cousin, Cantinflas. What? Cantinflas Santana.
that's not
He's just making
was
stuff
a real
up.
name.
I think it is.
So
Sancho came in.
yes,
Now we're doing
there.
classic literature. We're doing classic literature.
and we're having my birthday dinner on Friday night because my brother just flew in for like 18 hours.
Was
So
it
he's flying right
was
back
it,
out to Boston?
Was it ethnic food?
No, it wasn't.
You're just making
I think-
laugh today.
I think my mom made filet and some salad. That's it.
Was the fillet? Stop it. Was the fillet just steaks on the grill, or was the meat cut into small strips?
It was small strips. Like the big fillet.
What are you doing? I'm not fillet of burro. That is horrible. We're
Mike,
being horrible to
What you
him.
have to do is you have to get the meat from the back of the burro where it does less work. Otherwise, it's horribly tough. You're going to love it. It's just small, individual donkey steaks.
I apologize to my listeners.
Donkey steak.
Donkey steak.
I'll tell you about my night. You'll understand in a minute.
It's Mother Santana's signature recipe, donkey hoagie.
She's an amazing cook.
I know she is, and
Yeah.
stop it.
I'm sorry.
You stop it.
Behave yourself.
right now.
I know that you're operating with a little bit of a
Oh,
disadvantage today.
oh, Jesus
I try
Christ.
not to take advantage
This
of
is
it.
really, I've lost it. I've officially
Come
lost.
back. Come back
I am
to
going to
us.
try to come back.
Come back.
No, you're all set. You're good.
Okay.
So, yeah, reset.
Gonna be
reset.
fine.
So,
my-
you had filet mignon.
Yeah, my sister brought. My girlfriend brought a nice ice cream cake from 31 Flavors, or Baskin Robbins.
Was the ice cream fried?
No, but it was Jamocha almond fudge, my favorite.
Oh, it is his favorite.
I'm terrible. I wouldn't do this if I was normal.
No,
today.
you're fine.
Jesus, stop it.
And you should have seen the cake, Mike.
I
It was-
can't. When he gets he does this
Yeah.
to me. This is what, like when we're out in a restaurant.
No.
he will do this to me, and I will not be
Come
able
back to us,
I'm not going to be. I'm worried this is going to last for the entire.
You
show.
should have seen the cake, Mike. And not only was it his favorite flavor, Jamocha almond fudge, it was shaped like an abandoned mission. And they used the icing. It looked like stucco.
Stop it!
It was
I want him to tell his story,
as we all do.
Jesus,
not you.
My mother also made a cake, and it was tres leches.
Oh, now that's good. I've seen that at Costco.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really.
Can I sound any more? I'm hurtling Hispanic slurs his way, and then I go, I seen that at Costco.
Hey, that great cake! I saw that at the box store.
I swear to God, I could be a redneck, racist Civil War reenactor right now. That's how terrible.
Do you
I
know
am.
Tres Leche's cake is not really authentically Mexican,
Really?
or South American, or wherever he's trying to market.
What about Dolce de Leche ice cream?
Now that is something I can't comment to.
Okay.
Besides the fact that it's delicious.
Have you eaten it?
But yes,
Dolce, of course you have.
of course, Mike. This is what I do.
There's a confection that's been manufactured. It's gone down your gullet.
But Tres Leche's cake, I believe, was invented by a milk company to sell more canned milk.
Really?
Oh, probably. That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
also, speaking to ice cream, just briefly, Oscar, sorry to jump in.
Take your time.
No, he's
I'm
not.
glad we're early in the show because I will give him his time.
Haagen-Dazs, Mike, has
We're totally monopolizing that right now.
Haagen-Dazs has come out with gelato, and it is, by the way, excellent.
Really, where'd you get it?
I bought it at the Shoppers Food Mexican Warehouse.
Really?
Yeah.
Shoppers?
I like gelato.
Really?
It's really good.
Shoppers.
Hey, I saw that at Costco.
Okay, so you have steak fajitas and
No, just
what?
filet.
Oh, filet mignon.
That's right.
And
Salad.
and the whole family's around the
Yeah,
table
the
for
kids
your
are there,
birthday.
the
They're
kids are
honoring
there,
you.
Yes.
Nice.
How many
Take it
times
away.
did they fry
Stop
the beans?
it. Let him talk.
So, I sit down, and usually these events are very very warm and fun and loving.
Why did they refry them anyway?
Well, because they got cold and they had to reheat them.
Good try.
I don't know.
Good try.
Thank
So,
you.
Can I go back to the burrow, Joe?
I know where
Stop
you were
it.
going.
Let him finish.
he's running out of steam.
Right.
So
I am too.
we
Ready to go to bed.
we get to the point where my mom usually says something nice about whoever's birthday it is, and everybody has gone around the room. And my mom reaches down into her purse and pulls out an envelope, and I'm like, oh, cash money. I'm getting paid today. I thought something great was going to happen. So instead, she pulls out
A piñata?
She pulls out a piece of paper from 1995.
Okay.
That I had signed and she had signed. It was a contract between myself and her.
Oh, dear.
Wow.
And-
Your parents do the most innovative, creative things. I mean, you were talking about your dad last week.
Yeah.
And, how he motivated you. And it's this very unique, I mean, my God, it's amazing.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't think of this. And is this done, and I'm not making a joke now, but back in Bolivia, were there creative parenting techniques like this?
No, they beat you and they make
So
you
what
do
was the
things.
contract? I'm fascinated by this.
No, the contract, it was actually embarrassed. Well, I thought it was going to be something sweet or something nice that
You would
my
think.
mom would remember and found. She said she just found it a couple weeks ago, so it was perfect timing for my birthday.
Right.
And in front of my wonderful girlfriend and my family and my niece and nephew, she starts rattling off her 10 commandments that she wrote for me when I was a junior in high school.
Was the contract written because of perhaps bad behavior on your
Yes.
part?
So you're like
Yes.
15.
So it went from a birthday celebration to what is basically Festivus, and she was airing her grievances.
Airing of the grievances.
Yeah, she was airing her grievances towards me at age 35.
And you know what? And not just grievances, but grievances from years past.
Yeah, I was like, you got to let it go, lady. I can't believe you're going through
was this based on? So it was not a positive thing for you.
Well, I think I don't know.
Was she trying to be
It
funny?
was
is my
like
point.
I went into a different dimension of life.
Yeah, I would think so. Now, was this a review of these 10 items?
She read them out loud.
Did she say, okay, well, you got better at this. This still
Oh, no,
needs
no, no, no,
improvement?
no.
Please, please share with me. I hope your memory.
Oh, yeah, well, I've
no, hold
memorized
on.
them.
We're going to take a break. I want to come back. And
Yeah,
can you pull from your memory banks?
I've got him.
You've got the list?
I've got him.
Oscar's contract.
Excellent.
That's fantastic. We will be right back with the Mike O'Mara Show. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We talk about it all the time. This is a particularly important time for you to support us on Amazon. How do you do that, you ask? Well, you simply go to our webpage and you shop through our webpage to get to Amazon. It's MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. We're working on a quicker and easier way that you will be able to shop on Amazon and help the show at the same time.
Automatically.
You can save amazing amounts of money, like 70% on all jewelry. This is a good time of year for that, with graduations and also Mother's Day just around the corner, and you've got Father's Day that's coming up here in a few weeks. If kicks are more your style, save up to 60% on sneakers right on Amazon. Yes, I still call them sneakers.
Keds.
Please, whatever you do, that is the #1 way to support this show without doing anything other than doing your online shopping through us. Go to michaelmarashow.com/Amazon, and we thank you in advance for that. When we were talking to Oscar last, he was talking about, and Rob was trying to get through this.
Yeah, Oscar, this time let other people talk.
No, please, I'll try.
So your
No
mother
promises.
had produced a lawn care contract.
No,
I'm sorry.
No, that's not how it is.
I know. You had talked about the fact that she was so frustrated with you as a teenager that she drew up a contract and had you sign it.
Yes.
You were that
in
bad.
1995.
So is it safe to say, and we've had many discussions about your family, is it safe to say that you were the definitive bad seed in your family?
No, well, see, I would say yes compared to my brother and sister.
Well, they all achieved medical degrees.
Yeah, but I would say that no, because I never got into drugs or got into anything hardcore where they had to bail me out of jail.
You have some noted stories in the past where you've been invited to remove yourself from places of education.
I remember the party. The
party is a great
the party you had at your house where the cops came and you had like 120.
Yeah.
I did that in high school, so that's not a biggie.
I didn't know that many people. I couldn't have done that. I was mostly an outcast.
You were like in the 8th row of the theater, empty theater.
What I used to
studying
do
your math homework.
I would prop the door open and put up a sign that said "free beer," and no one would come. No one would come.
I only had one like you did, and
a rager.
I told like 10 of my buddies, and we had 110 people.
Yeah.
And my parents were out to dinner.
Yeah.
That was a little bit of a surprise when they
I
came
did one of those.
Yeah, it was fun. We actually played Spin the Bottle.
Did they come home and then everyone was still there?
They actually came home and it was I was screwed.
Remember, I invited like a 110 member marching drum and bugle corps to my house when my parents were there, and stuff got broken that I had to glue back together before my folks got
Collateral
home.
But
damage.
the good thing is Buzz was able to make love to 92 of them.
So there was that.
Except for that tuba player.
That's right.
So when last we checked in with you, it was the contract.
She pulled it out
between
of
you
her
and your
purse.
mother. Okay.
And she had, and this is how great it was for me, not at all. Because as soon as she pulled it out and I realized what she was about to read, I said, well, this can't go well. Like, I thought we were going to be like high-fiving and like.
Did you remember the
2
contract?
thumbs up. There are some things that you
Like when she pulled it out, how long before you realized what was happening?
As soon as she started reading from 1995. And I said to myself, well, this can't be good because, one, we've all done really dumb things when we were kids that we probably had blocked out or had forgotten about and would be embarrassed to talk about now.
Right.
And this was more of like a... just kind of like I was ashamed of half the things she had to sign a contract with me for.
Boy.
And I'll give you like an...
You were living at home and you were driving that poor woman mad.
An overview. Yeah, and I felt bad. Right. But again, why bring this up at my birthday?
Yeah.
So when she reaches in and she pulls it out, are you saying, what is this? I mean, why is she doing this now?
It's like the worst time in the world.
What's one that you wish she hadn't said
I'll
in front of Shannon?
I'll tell you all of them. How about all of them?
Go through the entire list.
Yeah, she said...
And I'm gonna hit the this.
Yeah.
Based on whether you are still violating those rules.
Well, I would think ding if he's defeated it, and buzzer if he still does it. Yeah, because that's more of a penalizing
No
sound.
problem at all.
She said in the contract, I agreed to not come home no later than 1 a.m. on the weekend.
Yeah.
So then she said, I agree to only take $15 a week for lunch.
Well, it doesn't really. It's not relevant to your life today, but I'm going to give you a buzzer just on general principle.
I agree to only take $50 for weekends, and that's it as an allowance every weekend. This is how
I'm
spoiled
basing
I was.
this on the fact that you now spend more than
clearly.
You spend liberally, especially when you're and I'm the recipient of that occasionally, so I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
Even though I give you the.
Now that we're 3 items in, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did the contract explain...
He was stealing money from his mother.
I wasn't stealing money.
He was stealing money from his mother.
Because every 13-year-old in the year 1995 needs $65 a week.
I wasn't 13.
I don't even get that.
How old were you?
I was 17.
Okay.
And you were going into your mother's purse
I wasn't
pilfering.
stealing.
Did the contract...
It was an allowance.
Did the contract explain what would happen if you violated the terms of the contract?
No violations.
So you just signed it, and that was without penalty.
Did you have to? Was it tedious when you would have a weekend to reach into your mom's purse and then have to go down to the local bank to exchange it?
You should also. You should
you go to the airport airport, Mike.
Oh, yeah, the exchange rate was horrible.
That's right.
So at the airport.
7.5 pesos.
Why does this one have a hole in it?
What is the?
Mom, you got Chinese money again.
Were you stealing from your mother, Oscar?
No, I wasn't.
You sure?
Well, my father was positioned. He was actually stationed in Mexico at the time.
This is when
this
is that like 7-year period where your father lived away from your mother.
Yeah. Right. So. And then my mom goes down the list and she says, you will get no more than $20 a week for gas.
It's all money related.
It's all money related. Yeah. Because I guess I would just ask her and she'd just give it to me,
You
right?
were burning through it.
Yeah. And she said...
Mom, I need this. Mom!
Yeah. Mom! That I would not be late to school anymore. And... I'm going through this, and I'm like, I was such a little bastard.
Were you chronically tardy?
Well, see, Mike...
It's just like the show.
I was going to say, they're big buzzer there. Thank you.
I don't think that should be held against me. It's purely cultural, you know? That's what they taught me. I'm just trying to...
Well, you know what? I would venture to say... give me your brother's name again.
Jose.
Jose, I would venture to say, when it's time for surgery...
Yeah.
Jose doesn't go, I just said Jose.
Jose?
Well, that's correct.
Jose, I like to do the Z pronunciation.
Jose.
Pronunciation. I bet Jose's not late for surgery. That's the point I wanted to make.
Right.
I bet Oscar wasn't late to pick up his allowance.
Yeah.
No culture there.
What was your weekly allowance when you were 17?
I don't remember very well, but she does, clearly.
Well,
she's
the contract
paying the bills.
said $65 in spending money for the week and $20 for gas.
Do you know why he doesn't remember?
Why?
Because it was a floating number in his mind.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was anytime Mom's down in the laundry room and he goes into the purse.
If the market was up, I was up.
The market.
So as I sat down and I was listening to all of these,
yeah.
As a matter of fact, every time Oscar came home to see his mother in the afternoon after school, say, "Mom, I'm home."
I would call, and then it said, I must call my mother every time I get home from school, and I should come straight home from school after any event.
Because you were a latchkey kid.
Yeah, because I would just do what I wanted. I would go to my friend's house.
She was
hang out with
working
them.
at the hair salon.
Yes,
right.
So. And
making the money that he would spend the next week.
I think the last thing that I said, okay, you have to stop.
Did your dad send money back from
clearly
his diplomatic posts or whatever?
I was spending his cash.
It was hidden in bags of coffee.
Yeah, and little Virgin Mary figurines.
That's right.
Candles.
Oscar, you need gas. You need to bust open the statuary.
There we go.
Baby Jesus has a 50 in it.
So I stopped her at the point where she said I had to I must make my bed every day and keep my room clean. And I sat there. I said, "Mom, why are you doing this?"
Yeah.
I stopped her, and she said, "I just want to remind you what I've been through." And I said, "God, aren't you happy now? You've got 2 great doctors." And
30 printers,
yeah, and like a great the Prince of Podcasts living in your house,
right.
And it was like, what's the point of this? And then this is when I was like, you're embarrassing me. Yeah. You're embarrassing me in front of my lovely girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I don't see, this doesn't even make sense.
How did Shannon?
Yeah, how did she react?
How did Shannon take this?
Shannon came to my defense.
Giggles?
Really?
She said we were all kids. I used to do something similar like that when I was young.
She's a sweetheart.
And she was just
I like that she defends
kind.
you in front of your family.
And
this is the worst letter ever read at a birthday party.
That is just so... I don't know.
That's weird.
It's you know what it is? And you've referenced this a couple of times.
Dementia.
It's impolite, though. And dementia, I have found, with older people, certain people that have that,
like
really,
buzz.
you lay that on somebody because they're just not being polite.
They're not
where they get older and it kind of manifests itself in a really... She had to raise all these kids. She did a great job with you guys, but it's not a very polite thing to do on your birthday.
And you know what? Dementia,
strange.
one of the key things about dementia is forgetfulness. And obviously she didn't forget anything.
Yeah, no, it's even if it's not dementia, I think as a person gets older, they feel like they have greater permission to say things that they wouldn't have
they've
said.
They've earned it.
Yeah.
They feel they've earned it.
Right.
So I tried.
What did you call your mother? What was the name for her? Mama?
I said, "Mommy."
Mommy.
Yeah.
Mommy, I need some money. Hold on. I just broke the Jesus.
I guess what really
There is $20 in the manger or something.
Ever since you said that, I've been looking for that sound effect for like 20 minutes trying to do
So
this right
I
now.
sat there with my mom and I said, "Mom, I'm so sorry that I'm embarrassed that this list even exists. I'm embarrassed that we even had to go through that."
That is okay, Oscar.
And
here is $20 for your birthday.
And I said, okay, well,
I've cut myself on the money.
I said, where did you think this was going to be like a celebration and a happy thought? And she said, well,
were they all financial things? Or?
No, they were all just me being a dick. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
At least you recognize.
Yeah, and that was it. And that's what was embarrassing. I felt bad for my mom.
Are you racked with guilt based on how you treated your mother during your high school years?
Well, if you remember, she beat me.
She beat you when you were little.
Yeah.
Was it Don Francisco?
So she beat me as a child.
That's the Godfather.
What's the name of the belt?
That's the Godfather.
Pedro Moreno.
Oh, Pedro Moreno.
Pedro Moreno.
My name Don Chicho. Me llamo Vito Andolini, and this is for you.
But I felt for her.
Money, payday.
But what really got to me was this. My mom is so blessed with her children.
Yes.
That she said that, as I'm sitting there, she's like, I just want you to remember that you really put me through a lot of S. Mm-hmm. And she didn't say S, but a lot of hell.
Yeah. Was there anything comical about her?
No, this was very serious.
I love your mom.
And I said to her,
I love your mom.
And you've met her, haven't you?
Yes, I met her one time.
I would love to meet her.
And I said to her, okay, I was like, look, I'm sorry. I was like, I am embarrassed. I can't believe we're even dealing with this right now, and terrible. I apologize.
Christmas party next year. The Mama Santana has to come.
Yeah, and I said to her, she goes,
all parents invited.
Yes, all parents are invited.
And she
Absolutely.
goes, you're a juvenile delinquent. And I said, do you know what that means, Mom? I was like, I wasn't slinging rock. I wasn't like smoking weed. Like you didn't find drugs on me. I didn't have a meth problem.
Mommy, I'm going to China.
This is really disturbing because this was your birthday. This was supposed to be about you, and she made it about how you made her life a living hell.
And also, this is conceivably his last birthday. What with the China trip?
Clearly.
Wow.
It was like I'm telling you, it was like Festivus, but in real life.
Ouch. Well, happy birthday to you.
Did you control yourself? It's your mother.
I did.
And we all control ourselves when it comes to our mom.
And this is what happened.
Yeah.
So my girlfriend, she was very polite. She defended me, but she had to do her yoga training the next day. So she beat Chi. She went, boom, rolled out. Right. She left right after that. She just left.
She delivers the blow.
Yeah.
The knockout blow to you.
Yeah.
The emotionally devistating blow to you, and then she splits.
So she leaves, and I like hanging out with my family. We usually watch a movie, hang out. So before we start watching,
Cheech and Chong primarily.
Yeah, of course.
No, the Three Amigos.
Three Amigos, classic. So we sit there, and my sister says to me,
Zapata.
She goes,
Zorro.
My sister says to me, hey, are you okay after that dinner? I was like, that was the weirdest birthday dinner anyone's ever had in this house. Like, it was so strange.
Not a celebration.
Yeah, and she goes, well, go give Mom a hug and kiss. And I'm like, so I'll give Mom a hug and kiss. And my sister's like my mom as well, because she kind of raised me. Right. And I was like, Mom, I love you. I know you're just doing a bad bit. It's all good, right? And
you said bad bit?
Yeah, I said a bad bit.
I'm sure that resonates with her. She didn't know what the hell you were talking about.
Well, he translated it into Spanish, El Shtico.
So I go to my sister. I'm like, look, I'm going home tonight. She goes, well, your brother's here Jose's here for only 11 more hours. I said, I got to go home. I have plans in the morning. My girlfriend's going to class all day. I'm going to have breakfast with her on my birthday. And she says, well, and I said, look, I had the essiest birthday dinner known to man.
Oh,
you
were that? You
did you say the word?
Yeah,
did you say the word?
Oh, yeah, I said the word.
Oh, dear.
I said, I'm not going to effing deal with your guilt trip BS right now. We're going to watch a movie, and I'll go home.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? She deserved it.
Yes.
Did your siblings back you up?
My brother said, hello, he's 35. He's got a life.
Yeah.
The sad thing is immediately after Oscar said that, his mom drew up a new contract.
That's intense.
It's all by degree.
Yeah.
And it's all different. My mom is a saint. I always talk about my
I
sainted
love my mom.
mother.
I love
my mom, but Rob, you will play the role of me. Put the phone sound on, because I have to tell you, this is, and you're me calling my mom, and you're telling my mom that Carla is pregnant.
Okay.
And the conversations normally go like this.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Hey, it's Michael.
Hi, Michael.
Hello,
sweetheart.
I've got some big news.
Oh, really? I love big news.
Yeah, you're gonna love this.
What is that?
Carla is with child.
Carla's pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she really is.
Oh, dear. Well, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Your nephew's coming back to Boston this weekend.
Well, that's great, Mom. But I'm going to have another baby. You're going to be a grandmother again.
Okay. Is she okay?
She's fine.
Okay. You're not. Have you lost weight?
Not a lot.
Okay. I've got to go.
Okay. I love you, Mom.
Elizabeth's coming over for vodka in a few minutes.
Okay. Have a great Christmas.
It's all by degree.
Just like that.
It is
Just
all
like
by
that.
degree, and That sucks, though.
Yeah.
Because if it even no matter you can say you've outgrown it and you've moved by it, Oscar, but it had to hurt. It had to hurt like hell.
It does. I don't remember being that much.
Did you wake up in the morning depressed? I would. My mom is capable of depressing me into the next day.
Oh yeah.
I woke
even
up,
though she doesn't intend.
I woke up bummed out, but you know what was really one. I know that I continue to make amends, and I will continue to make amends for the S I did, and I put my mom
obviously stuck with her. She's got it in her purse.
In every day and every way, he's getting better and better.
Yeah,
that is.
But outside of that, what really sucked for me was, when I woke up the next morning, I told Shannon, I said, "Look, I was like, I'm embarrassed that you even had to hear that.
Yeah,
like, that's not.
That had to be the weirdest element of it all."
Yes, because my family's never done that ever,
and
to anyone.
To anyone.
Family, no one. Your family knows
and you have an inferiority complex to start with the overachieving family members you have.
You know, and that just occurred to me is that everyone that was at that dinner knew that you used to be that way.
Yes.
And you've made great strides. Yes. But Shannon has only known you
one way.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
2 thumbs up, smiling.
I think you know what I think at the end of the day, at the end of her string, and we never like to talk about it, but it is the circle of life. It is the reality of life. I have a prediction, and this is a comment about you. You've given me plenty of compliments. I'll give you one. You're going to be the one that's there. You're going to be the one that rallies for her and takes care of her while your other siblings are off doing their wonderful work.
Yes.
That is all encompassing. Yeah. You're the guy that goes over. You still are.
Yeah.
You're the guy that gets over there, and that's why, unfortunately, in the weird world of family dynamics, you're the one that gets S'd on more than anybody.
Yeah, so true. And when you are there, you can remind her of her faults.
No. She's a good lady.
And you know what's great is if it is, God forbid, if it is dementia, she'll forget what you said the day before.
It wasn't dementia.
Remind her every day.
I picture you, though, standing next to her. This is the essiest birthday I've ever had.
Well, not to my mom, to my sister, I said.
Oh, to your sister.
I never would say that to my mom.
Oh, so you didn't say.
My sister was guilting me.
Oh, your sister was laying that on you.
I didn't go out. I would never.
I thought it was your mom. I got confused.
I went after my sister, who's basically like my mom as well.
Right.
She's got her traits. And I said, when she tried to guilt me for leaving and not hanging out with my brother the next morning, I said, look, that was the essiest dinner ever. Yeah. Not dealing with your mother effing deals.
I remember
guilt trips.
There was my sister's 50th birthday party, and she's older than me, and my presence is requested at this birthday dinner.
Right.
And I tell this story. I don't think I've told it on the air, but I told this story.
So this requires travel.
This is travel. I have to fly to Newport, Rhode Island, where they have rented this she hall, like the Tennis Hall of Fame or whatever the hell it is.
I know where Newport is. I've been there.
Oh my God.
And I got to fly up, and we're on the show. Remember when we had Planters as a sponsor?
Yes.
And they would give us the jar of honey roasted peanuts.
Cases of peanuts would arrive.
And it's 3:30, 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm hungry, and I'm getting my eat on, and I'm compulsive in everything. So I eat like half the jar of peanuts.
Yes.
And digestively, that is seriously, to this day, that's the one thing I'm not allowed to eat.
Not good.
And I'm certainly not allowed to eat it in mass quantities.
Right. Or take showers.
My intestines, the boom sound effect once again. Here we go. Hold on a second. This is what. Those were my intestines. That's how bad I was doubled over that night.
Yeah. Oh no.
And it carried into the next day. And I called my mom and I said, Mom, I can't go to Kathy. It's like,
oh, honey, she's relied on it. If you're not there, this is her 50th birthday.
Mom, I can't do it. I can't go.
No, you don't understand. This is a very big deal. Is there anything you can take? Can you take an aspirin?
Mom, I have diverticulitis. I have perforations in my intestinal wall, and I am in absolute doubled over excruciating pain, and I can't be 10 minutes from without a bathroom.
Oh, we have bathrooms up here.
So, I mean, to make a long story short,
I feel you.
I get on the plane. I get on one of those little Canadair regional jets, and I'm in the back of the plane. And I said, it was really one of the rare times I said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom right here, right now. I am going to die.
You're waiting for the light to go out. So
I've got the cold sweats. I am so completely and totally ill that I am sweating profusely. I'm ashen gray.
Fever.
I make it to Newport, Rhode Island. The only way that I compensate for this pain, really, it's the only time in my life I ever remember thinking that alcohol would deaden my pain. So I'm drinking white wine because it's one of those she receptions that they have, and I'm swilling down the way, and I deliver my speech with sweat pouring off me, but I'm hysterical. It's a funny speech about how bad I was and how great she is, and how she abused me when she left me on the bottom of the ski slope with Tommy McCabe up on the top, and I stayed there and falling all day for 4 hours at a ski resort. And I tell about the fact that she didn't let me come in the house when I was skating on the pond down there, and I pooped in my pants. It was just I tell
theme going here.
I tell all the funny stories, but I am seriously in agony.
Right.
And then at the end of the night, we're sitting there, and I said, "That was a great party. I want to talk to you about the house up in Maine." And she says, and Paul looks at me and he goes, "Please, I don't think we talk about the house in Maine. That's going to ruin her birthday weekend." Oh. And every moment, like when you say this was the Essiest birthday, all the effort that I had expended to make it up there, and he diminishes me like that. Yeah. And there were 30 people in this hotel in Newport, Rhode Island, and he walked to the elevator, and through all of them, I'm standing in the middle of the lobby, and as the elevator doors are, I say, "Hey, Paul, F you!"
Oh, wow.
F you!
Wow.
And I went home to my hotel, and I got an earlier flight, and I came home.
And they lived happily ever after.
Long and short of that story, families are wonderful.
They can be.
That's right. Families are terrific. So happy birthday.
Easter.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy Easter and happy
Had a good
birthday.
time.
And congratulations on having a birthday right around the time the Lord is risen. Yes. We'll get to the Spiwax after this.
Thank you.
Jesus.
The audio vault. We'll take a break. We're right.
Back to that same old place, sweet home, Chicago.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. I feel your pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Families-
talking about it wasn't cathartic. I just get sad. I got sad again.
I know.
Like, oh, this blows.
And that is the mother or the close family member factor that they can affect you.
Push your button.
Into the next week.
Oh, yeah.
But they're good people. They got me a camera for my birthday.
Oh, good. For China.
Yes, for China. And my brother got me some. He goes, "I'm giving you money for retirement," which is kind of a weird present to give me.
He wants him out of radio now.
Not a big not a big one. I just started 401k like 2 years ago. So
How many zeros?
Not enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never are.
You should see the camera. It's a digital camera, Mike, preloaded with all the disappointments.
Hispanic families rock, and that's why. Here's some money for retirement. I mean, those are families that take care of their own.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, really, and we could
Very
learn
kind
a few
of
things. Our segment is brought to you by RC Kitchens. Your kitchen may be the most important room in your home. Now you can have hand-built, all-wood, top-quality cabinets for about the same price as the mass-produced brands. Cool. And this guy is terrific. Rory Callahan at RC Kitchens. He's a guy that cares. He pays attention to it. He gives you estimates that are legitimate, as opposed to people that say, "Yeah, it'll be a couple of weeks." Rory tells you exactly how long the work is going to take, and he is a great deal as well. RC Kitchens makes it a point to find out exactly what you want, and they take the frustration out of remodeling. If you are outside the D.C. area, RC Kitchens might be able to help you also. Do a favor for yourself and for us. Contact Rory Callahan. He is a terrific guy. Really, he's worth talking to if you are even thinking about the smallest of home remodeling projects, whether it's kitchens, whatever. He does it all. Talk to Rory Callahan and his crew today. 304-537-3515. Sorry, HBS. That's 301-537-3515 or at rckitchens.com.
You made his day with that.
You know, we're small business owners. Rory is a small business owner. Please, we have to support each other in this economy, and we'd love you to give him a call.
Can you give that number one more time?
Yeah, one more time. It's 301-537-3515. Thank you in advance, Rory. Let's open up the audio vault for today, Monday, April Fools.
Did you want to cite my wife real quick on Facebook?
Yeah, as far as the little thing that she
Her
sent.
post, yeah.
So the Spiwax, who have plunged deeply into atheism.
Yes.
The comment that came from the very, very dark mind of Carrie Spiwax, which I'm beginning to see more and more and more. You know, nothing like starting your Easter Sunday with a slur of the entire Catholic faith.
I don't know.
As Carrie
really
writes,
all Christians.
As Carrie writes down, he has risen. And he's making me bacon and coffee. So, you know, not only is that the slur, but it's like, but at the same time, you know, it sort of speaks to the breakfast patterns in the Spiwak household.
And I'll do anything for food.
So it's
you didn't like
interesting.
my Easter post?
Which was yours?
And on the third day he rose again, and if he sees his shadow.
There you go.
Now that's
when did you become like the agnostic atheist Bill Maher?
I don't know.
You mock religion.
No.
You mock it because it's a Catholic thing with you?
Yeah, I think maybe.
I'll tell you something. There's our little church over here, Our Lady of the Used Tires.
Yes. Llantas Usadas.
Oh, my God. You couldn't. The streets were blocked.
Yeah.
The streets were blocked because of the Easter Catholics that were all going to services on Easter Sunday.
Wow.
I did not attend.
Well, I missed you at the sunrise service.
Down at the Lincoln Memorial?
Everyone at the
It was terrific, wasn't it?
It was great.
Yeah, it was crowded in Manassas.
You know, it's not too late to buy your Jack Cassidy T-shirts and try to be my apprentice. We're going to start spotlighting some of these videos.
Yeah,
today.
now you've heard about this contest. We've been doing it for months, and finally they are. They've been trickling in, and now they're coming in on a regular basis. We're getting photos of. There's a great one from Fenway Park where a guy sent a picture of his Jack Cassidy T-shirt. But what we're looking for
videos.
We want videos from your unusual location, and the winner of the contest will actually be Rob's apprentice for a day.
Great prize pack. This one sets the bar high. Unfortunately, Eric Berry of Sparks, Nevada, is disqualified on a technicality. He did this without wearing a Jack Cassidy T-shirt.
No, come on.
But his location is so good, I need to do it to start it.
Okay.
It's the audio is quiet, but you're going to excuse it because he is in front of the Pulp's pulpit at St. Peter's in Rome.
Oh, wow.
And you can
If he'd
see
had
it.
the
he could have
T-shirt,
won. He
would have been the winner.
And so listen carefully to Eric Berry, who gets our contest started. And Eric, thank you.
St. Peter's Cathedral in front of the Pope's pulpit. I'm Jack Cassidy.
And he was right there. It's that big golden pulpit right in there.
And he didn't have the T-shirt.
Did not have the T-shirt.
And he's in St. Peter's Square.
Yeah, but
maybe next time.
I want you to know
The new Pope?
Well, the new Pope wasn't there. The pulpit was there.
The pulpit was there. Right.
But this is what we're looking for: exotic locations,
Yes.
and also a little more volume would have helped.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, he planted
Still
it.
very cool.
Is that all we got?
Oh no, we got one every day for the next 3 weeks.
All right, send in your entries. All you have to do is videotape yourself. It doesn't matter if you're back in back of your barn.
Impress us.
We
That's what we want.
I'm Jack Cassidy, and you have to be wearing the T-shirt.
Now, I teased this last week, Mike.
You
I
can get
want
your T-shirts at MikeOMarashow.com.
Yes, please do. Louis Henderson might need to quit the show Splash.
No.
You teased that on Friday.
Yes.
I'm curious about this. I have not watched the show Splash.
He apparently went to do a flip and landed on his belly. And he might have injured himself. Here's Louis Anderson talking about it.
So you were doing a backflip? Is that
I
what
was
happened?
doing a backflip.
Describe what happened.
By the way, this is Louis Anderson, not Lowell Melser. Just want you to know that.
So you were doing a backflip? Is that
I
what
was
happened?
doing a backflip.
Describe what happened.
Well, I went to do my move, and I didn't do it enough. And when you don't do your move enough, your body's out of position. And so rather than going in the right way, I went in tummy way. And I got a big tummy. You know, people call it a belly flop.
Yeah.
It's more like a slim slam jam bam.
He's so funny.
Is Louis a married guy, or does he?
No,
I think he might
Does
be.
he enjoy the company of men?
I think, like Liberace, he's a noted bachelor.
Yeah, if you've ever seen his True Hollywood Story.
That's pathetic TV watching.
What did you learn?
The true Louis is gay?
When he was when he was hosting the
Family
Feud.
Yeah. He was hosting Family Feud. He apparently was in a casino and he had met a guy and blah blah blah. Something happened.
Oh, God.
The guy started extorting money from him.
That's right.
To out him?
Yeah, he got the FBI involved. Became a whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Louis.
Yeah. I didn't want her to get out that way.
I am a gay American.
Release it on my
Allegedly.
own terms.
I don't know exactly
But
what
also,
the story
Mike,
is.
you laugh, and it's always fun to laugh because laughter softens everything.
It does indeed.
But Louis is sad that he might have to quit.
You might not be able to continue with the competition?
I don't want to say too much because I don't know, but we're all here to just discuss that fact. I don't want to die doing this.
What would it mean if you had to drop out?
It would crush me.
Because you worked so hard to be here already?
It would be real devastating.
Because you want it really badly, right?
I'm in it to win it.
Wow. Poor Louis.
I gotta
wish
see
him
that
all the
video.
best.
I'm watching that show now.
All right.
Well,
I am watching
it
that
really
show now.
pales because you just saw Kevin Ware break his leg in half.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got belly.
He's diving into a pool.
It's all
You got a belly
relative.
flop
He
here.
just needs a win.
And you think
He's in it to win it.
you think Louis crying? You should
Louis.
You should hear the pool. Two quick
There's a
things.
baby Ruth in that pool. Hey, Louis, is this yours?
You know what's
Is
amazing?
this yours?
The candy bar and Louis hit the water at the same time. It was amazing. Oh, Mike,
That belly flop.
April Fools over the weekend. Real quick, two gags that I liked because they were understated, they were well done. Google launched a fake website called Google Knows.
Okay.
Where you could click on it for
Saw that.
smells.
Yeah.
So here's Google Knows.
We're excited to announce Google Knows Beta, our flagship olfactory knowledge feature enabling users to search for smells. Our mobile aroma indexing program.
And if you actually go to the website and click, it'll Google things like the smell of cat litter, or remember that fruit, the durian, that smells so bad?
Yeah, it smells like feet.
So it's not real, but perhaps the best one is YouTube put out a really slick-looking video saying that when they launched YouTube, it was a contest to find the best video in the world, and that they have now got all their entries and they're shutting down until 2023. They're going to watch every video on YouTube and award their prize. But it looked so slick.
We are so close to the end. Tonight at midnight, YouTube.com will no longer be accepting entries. After 8 amazing years, it is finally time to review everything that has been uploaded to our site and begin the process of selecting a winner.
So they talk about
they make it almost legit. Don't
After
they?
20 years, the prize is going to be an MP3 player and $500 in cash.
That's great.
So YouTube isn't going anywhere. We're running way late. I want to close. Where should we go
Decisions.
here? Yeah, a lot of decisions. I liked this. We'll close with this. We'll have Gary Busey tomorrow.
Okay.
Did you see the lady on the Today Show finding out that she's going to be a grandmother and
No,
the
I
scream
didn't.
she did?
Yeah.
Obviously, they sent the card and they're videotaping while she's hearing it being read. This is Grandma Crowder, Mike.
Grandpa! Oh my gosh! Some birthdays are more special than others.
And I love Grandma Crowder because she's holding a small dog that wants nothing to do with her. So she finds out she's a grandmother and gives us.
There we go.
So best wishes to the Crowders, Mike. And
That's awesome.
that is your magic audio.
Thank you,
volume.
Rob. Drew Crowder's grandma.
Of course.
Yes, terrific. There's a plug for Drew Crowder. Why did I mention that name?
I don't know.
Because he's everywhere.
Good luck, Drew, on the show Splash.
We'll take a break, come back with Buzz and News right after this. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. Let's get right to it. He is here. He is the man. He is the legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Buzz Burbank, take it away, Buzz.
Thank you, Mike. And we're brought to you today by Smart Smoke, the premium e-cigarette. You know how this works. Smart Smoke, all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff. Same-day shipping, money-back guarantee, and it costs 80% less than traditional tobacco products. Try the new Omega 2 with a heavy-duty design and up to 14 hours of battery life. To see all the styles.
Yeah, she likes it.
She loves it.
Drew's grandmother.
All the flavors and all the strengths, and to order your refills, just click the Smart Smoke ad on our website.
Drew Crowder has a Bentley, a Tesla, and a Rolls Royce.
That's very exciting.
And a private jet, and he produced The Godfather.
No way.
He did.
That's
He's
a
done
very
it all.
good
Absolutely.
list of
Well,
accomplishments.
you already know that the death of the landline is coming, but you probably figure it's because so many of us are cutting the cord and switching to cell phone only. Little did you know, the phone companies are pushing to make the landlines go away.
That censors it. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, keep it forever, Rob.
Yeah, they can eat it.
Keep your wooden phone.
That's right, with the crank.
And we phone users have certainly done our part. Fewer than 10% of American homes are still landline only, and well over a third of American homes are now cell phone only.
Wow.
And the trend away from hard lines and toward wireless is actually picking up steam. But phone companies are also losing interest in landlines. They say they need to focus on the new technologies, and they say being forced to maintain an outdated system is a drain on resources, better focused on the future. But the phone companies have other motives, of course.
They're evil.
Landlines are heavily regulated. Broadband is still the wild, wild west, relatively free of regulations.
So they
And
can take more money from you.
companies hate regulations.
That's right.
I
Those
think
bastards.
my favorite broadband was the Bangles. Wow.
It is.
And
It's-
you live and you learn.
Well, I'm a Go-Go's fan.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Thank you.
You know, it's highly doubtful anybody in Mayflower, Arkansas is chanting drill, baby, drill, but because while some of the townsfolk were out working up some food, up from the ground come a bubbling crude oil, that is.
I mean, they were looking for some food.
No, they were out working for food. And nobody looks for food anymore in
Okay.
Arkansas. They
Hey,
don't go to jobs.
you
So
anticipated my thing and you had it prepared.
I've updated the lyrics.
Way to go.
An Exxon pipeline ruptured there Friday and oil flowed down the street like a river. 40 homes were evacuated. People had time time just to grab a few things. The evacuees say they're getting conflicting reports about when they'll be able to return to their homes. Everyone's assured, or rather Exxon has assured the people of Mayflower that the company will pay for the cleanup and damage. But the spill has those residents and a lot of other people today questioning the wisdom of the Keystone Pipeline, which would carry oil from Alberta, Canada to the Texas Gulf Coast.
What are the police officers that work on that pipeline?
The police officers on the pipeline?
Aren't they cops?
Yeah,
the Keystone Cops.
The Keystone.
That was for you.
I'm sorry.
Wow. I'm really. I almost made it to the end of the show.
we all almost made it.
I love Mike's April Fool's gag of not pretending he's tired.
Thank you.
You tricked everybody.
I didn't tell anybody about last night. I'll tell you tomorrow.
Really? Maybe better tomorrow.
My
anyway.
Easter Sunday night.
Yeah. Night.
Right.
So we already have the answer to what could possibly go wrong.
You have it.
They're still cleaning up the mess on I-77 at the border between Virginia and North Carolina. Fog and unsafe speeds led to a 95-vehicle pileup there yesterday.
Did you see the pictures from this?
Yes, I did.
I mean, it's amazing. That piece of road,
Yeah.
it looks dangerous when they show it.
They say it fogs over a lot.
It's amazing.
There. And they killed 3 people and then injured 30 others. Right. Quoting one participant, a car in front of us stopped and it piled up from there. You could hear car after car crashing behind us. Another. My husband started screaming for us to run. Our thought was just to get out of there. A truck ran over the top of our car. And quoting a trooper, it's the worst accident I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. Now, cracks are appearing in the resolve against gay marriage in both the Republican Party and the Catholic Church. The Archbishop of Washington says the church would probably treat same-sex marriages the same as heterosexual second marriages, should gay marriage be legalized in the U.S. As divorced Catholics know, it's not a warm embrace, but it's also not a locked door.
And you mentioned cracks.
Yes, I did.
Sorry.
That's perhaps an accident.
So sorry.
And a rising star in the Republican Party, Arizona's Jeff Flake, says his party's... Jeff Flake. He's a rising star, Rob.
Yeah, but he's, he makes all those weird statements.
Not only that, he uses so much Head and Shoulders.
Well, he has to.
Right.
And he says...
But he makes a hell of a pie crust.
his party's support of gay marriage is inevitable sooner or later. He predicted on Meet the Press yesterday that at least one Republican presidential nominee will back gay marriage in the next election cycle.
Well, he's got that winning wife, too, Snow.
Oh, she's pretty. And no one like her.
Sometimes. They're too alike.
That's a better joke. She's so unique.
Sometimes
she's one of a kind. I'm sorry.
Precious, really.
He's been getting me all day today.
You're tired.
Sometimes even the walk that we walk belies what's really in our hearts. A former violent racist has died at the age of 76, but not until after he tearfully apologized to one of the black Americans he'd brutally beaten. Elwyn Wilson, of South Carolina, was one of the original so-called freedom riders, but with the encouragement of his son, he apologized publicly to his victims, civil rights leaders, everyone.
Oh, wow.
Probably no reason for Oscar to be nervous about going to China, even after 2 men have died there from the bird flu. They are the first humans to die of the infection, but officials say this is a gentler strain of the virus than the one that frightened us 10 years ago.
Tomorrow we will discuss China because it was all about Oscar's birthday. Tomorrow we'll talk about China. What could possibly go
And thanks
wrong.
to Buzz's newscast, now everybody's heard about the bird flu.
That's the word. Finally, thank you, Florida, I guess, for the homeless woman who used a rock to cut through the screen door to break into a swimming pool in Palm Bay. It was all captured on security video. The woman breaking in, relieving her bowels in the backyard, and then jumping into the pool. As she explained it, she needed a bath. Well, fellas, she wanted to look her best, I'm sure, since she said she was on her way to Washington to yell at President Obama. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Michael O'Mara Show.
Wow. That's it. We got to get out of here.
Obama!
Thank you. You got me.
Hey, you know what, though?
You got me at the end of the show. I can't help myself.
Great job today.
Yeah,
Thank
great
you.
work.
Thank you very much. Tomorrow we'll have more details on Oscar's trip to China. Also, my Easter Sunday night with Jimmy Cerrito. Kind of an impromptu evening.
And how I frightened my neighbors with gunfire.
Oh, that's right. And Buzz.
Oh, my God.
Gunfire
Todd
in
will be
Buzz's
here
neighborhood.
tomorrow.
And Todd Moore will be sitting
it's a big
in.
show.
That is a
And
huge one.
we got a lot of big shows coming up. Even with Oscar going to China, we're going to be having guest hosts as well.
Oh, I like that.
Including our friend Meg Hawkins from the Officer Down Memorial
she's
page.
great.
Love
She's
her.
going to come by, and we're going to be having people sit in periodically while Oscar is over learning Mandarin.
Excellent.
Our show today was brought to you by ScoreBig.com. Support them. They're
Please.
a great website. I used them just this this week, taking my girls to the hockey game Thursday. We got to get out of here. We'll be back with another show tomorrow. You take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.